Hey guys, my name is Jimmy Seatman, and this is Seatman Sports. And unfortunately, today we're going to be talking about the New York Knicks. And I say unfortunately because there are so many other stories in the NBA right now that are great early on in this season. But with the Knicks, we have to talk about just how incompetent they are. Now, their general manager, Steve Mills, held an impromptu press conference earlier this week talking about how he was so disappointed in how the Knicks have started off this season. And the one thing I have to say to that is, really? Really? You're disappointed in how this season has started off? You didn't expect this? Because everyone else seemed to expect that the New York Knicks were going to be absolutely terrible this year, and you were the people that couldn't do that. You signed 6 power forwards this offseason, and you expected the fact that these guys were going to come in and be great. Your best player is a 20-year-old rookie in RJ Barrett. And RJ Barrett has a chance to be a really, really good player. But right now, he's not. He's a rookie in his first 10 games in the league. And this is the team that you expected to be great this year? For the Knicks, this is just, again, another absolute disaster. This offseason, they had to send out a memo to their fans on June 30th, before free agency actually started, basically apologizing for the fact that they couldn't get any major free agents. And then they talked about how happy they were with their free agent signings with Marcus Morris and Alfred Payton and Julius Randle and Bobby Portis. They weren't happy with these signings. They had their sights set on Kevin Durant, on Kyrie Irving. And James Dolan basically told the world in March that they thought they were going to get these guys no matter what. And then what ends up happening? They go across the hall to the Brooklyn Nets, who are everything that the Knicks aren't. The Nets were built from the ground up. They were left without any draft picks after the Celtics trade, and they had to be innovative. They went and hired a smart guy in Sean Marks. They went and hired a smart coach in Kenny Atkinson. They developed a lot of players, and they took chances on a lot of guys, including D'Angelo Russell, and they were able to build a competent organization that both Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant felt that they could go to and be successful for. For the Knicks, if they were just normal bad, they probably could have a shot at free agents. Look at the Lakers. The Lakers had 5 losing seasons before LeBron James signed there, before they were able to trade for Anthony Davis. But they were able to sign LeBron James because they were the Lakers, and if they had been extremely incompetent, it wouldn't have happened, but they were just regular bad. The Knicks, however, have to take things to an entirely new level with how bad that they are. If they were just competent, if they were just regular, maybe they would have had a shot at Kevin Durant. Maybe they would have had a shot at Kyrie Irving. But they were so bad that there was no way that either of them were going to choose to continue their careers for the New York Knicks. And the New York Knicks are the most valuable franchise in all of the NBA. It is the marquee destination for a lot of players. So many players talk about how their best experiences playing basketball are playing at Madison Square Garden, and yet for the last 20 years, they haven't been able to attract any marquee free agents. They haven't been good at all, and they've been an embarrassment to the league. James Dolan is one of the worst owners in all of sports, and you can't fire the owner. And that's the one thing, is you have a guy like Steve Mills doing a press conference saying he didn't expect the team to be this bad. Well, Steve Mills has been employed by the New York Knicks for 20 years. If you're Steve Mills and you can't realize at this point that your organization is bad, that your organization isn't going to be good year in and year out, I don't know what you expect. And I feel bad for Coach David Fizdale, who is already basically fired at this point, but still has to come into work every day, knowing that this may be his last day. The Knicks have never given a coach a fair shot. They fired Mike Woodson after one of his best seasons. And for a guy like David Fizdale, he was brought in just a year and a half ago and hasn't been given a true chance to coach this team. This team is going to be bad no matter what, no matter who was the coach, whether it was Phil Jackson or Greg Popovich, this team was going to be bad. And this is just another case of the New York Knicks continuing to be one of the most incompetent organizations in all of basketball. The Knicks are never going to be able to attract star free agents or star players to come to their team as long as they're incompetent. And they thought they could take a shortcut this offseason. They thought that they could sign a bunch of mediocre players in free agency and maybe build up their floor because they looked at the Nets and say, hey, if we can just be the 6th seed or the 7th seed, maybe players will want to come here. But the thing is, they don't realize that the Nets are one of the most forward-thinking organizations in all of sports. They don't realize that they invest so much money into their player development, so much money into their facilities, and they do everything that the Knicks don't. And that's why they were able to land Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. And for Steve Mills to hold this press conference, when nobody from the Knicks organization, the owner, the GM, the president, spoke at all offseason long, and now to speak 10 games into the season, which is just such a panic move by the organization, you have to think that Steve Mills was told by owner James Dolan, who probably had one of his famous meltdowns, to go out and talk to the media. And it's just really, it's a disgrace. It screams panic. It screams incompetence that 10 games in, the GM is coming out speaking to the media, talking about how disappointed he is in this season. If the Knicks really couldn't see this coming, the people running this organization should not be in charge of any basketball team because they don't have the foresight to see what is actually going to happen. Everybody and their brother knew that the Knicks were going to be bad this year. And there's a reason they have one good season in the last 20 years. And the reason that they weren't able to build off that is because they were just too incompetent to do anything about it. And then the Knicks wonder why they can't get marquee free agents. When they alienated their best player and their star player in Kristaps Porzingis and basically made him request a trade. Porzingis had 4 coaches in 4 years and was tired of the organization and the lack of structure. Of course he wanted to be traded. Of course he wanted to move on. And you know what? The Knicks could have said, hey, you got to hang in there. You're going to be with us for another couple of years. We're going to sign you to an extension. But no, they traded away the only good player they had because it thought it would bring them cap space and thought it would attract other stars. But it didn't. None of that happened. And if you're a star free agent and you saw how the Knicks treated Kristaps Porzingis, who is the one player they have drafted in the last 20 years who has been worth anything, why would you ever want to go there? And they continually bang their head against the wall. If the Knicks were just a competent organization, they would have signed a major free agent by now. I cannot emphasize that enough because New York is such a destination spot for NBA players, just like Los Angeles is, just like Miami is. And the reason the Lakers and the Clippers and the Heat are able to sign these free agents and attract people is because they are competent organizations and they understand the importance of being great from the top down. The problem is with the Knicks, until James Dolan does not own the team, until the people who have been running this organization are not still running this organization, they are going to continue to be one of the worst organizations in all of sports. And they can set their eye toward 2021 free agency, where you have Giannis Antetokounmpo and Kawhi Leonard and Paul George and LeBron James and all of these other stars. But there's no way they're going to get any of them unless they make a change. And unfortunately for Knicks fans, I don't see that change happening anytime soon. If you're a Knicks fan, I'm personally sorry. I'm sorry you have to go through this. I'm sorry if you're ever brought any hope. I hope you're never brought any hope because it's probably not going to get better anytime soon. But you're loyal, and I guess that's what sports is all about. But man, maybe just consider watching like baseball or something like that for a little bit and just make yourself a little bit happier because the Knicks aren't going to be better anytime soon. And this train wreck is just going to get bigger and bigger as the season moves on. I'm going to continue watching more NBA all season long. I'm probably not going to be watching a lot of Knicks games because that's extremely depressing. But we'll bring you more NBA content as the season goes on. And I promise I won't talk about the Knicks too much more going forward. But this is Seatman Sports. If you want to subscribe to my channel, make sure you do that. And if you like this video, just give it a thumbs up for me. My name's Jimmy Seatman. Thanks for watching, guys.